Hello and welcome back everyone to Brutal Legend on Rocket Rabbit Commentaries, and in this episode, after successfully delivering our tour bus to the site of the next battle, we've got to go and collect, some collectibles and unlocks in order to safely proceed. Relic Razor this motor forge.
Rabbit Solo!
Yeah, that's better.
Leather Rebel again?
Yeah, until you actually go around, and collect the majority of the buried metal, the repetition of the tracks can be a bit bothersome early on. Thankfully, by the time we complete our next major story mission, we'll have enough tracks to not have to worry about that so much. This is a very important solo to pick up, which is why it's right here instead of, hard to find. Rally Army.
I can't wait to try that out.
Imagine if the Dragonborn said that every time he got a shout. He said, "Can't wait to try that out."
Well, then they would have to actually voice the Dova King, and they just weren't gonna have that.
I mean, no, they voiced it. There's a voice for the Dova King for every single race and gender.
Really?
Yes.
And you're not just referring to the shouts?
Well, of course, it's the shouts. The shouts and the voice are one.
I never knew that there was a female shout voice.
Well, I hope you didn't think that they made the women sound like men.
I thought that they would have the same soundbite for the shouts, regardless of gender. As it's magic. They shouldn't have to explain why the shout sounds the same.
Long ago in all the ancient stories, the Dragonborn would come in and bust a rocking solo with 16th notes in the middle of a 220 BPM bar.
That is a very specific legend, Mr. Cloud.
Legends are true that the return of the now late Eddie Van Halen will resurface one day and make one's fingers blister in order to melt faces across the planet.
Now, does he do that with Panama, Eruption, or... You see, Eruption is the one that I always think is the solo that everyone loves from Eddie, but I'm not entirely sure anymore.
I think his biggest solos were from his cover of "You Really Got Me" by the Kinks, Eruption, as you had mentioned. He did a solo for Michael Jackson in "Beat It," and... Shit, there's one more. There's a major one I'm forgetting right now.
Recall flag.
Yay.
The opening riff to this track is actually really nice too. I really like Steel Acoustic.
Yeah, this game is very special for its nostalgia. I gotta say. I mean, they have voices. They have, thanks to Jack Black's.
Rock is upon us.
The hour of rock is okay, man. Sound check. 1, 2, 3. Check. Okay, raise the stage. As I was going to say, thanks to Jack Black's connections, we have some basically once in a lifetime appearances right here because some of these people aren't even with us anymore.
Oh my God!
Get away!
Ozzy Osbourne is still alive for some reason.
Boss!
Eddie!
My back!
My back! Cartman! You got a 40-foot satellite growing out of your ass! Screw you guys. Whatever.
Those druids at the temple. They must have poisoned their blades with demon venom.
Will remind me to send him a thank you note. I feel great.
You need to lay down in the bus.
Now Jack Black has become Hellboy.
Listen to me. I know you're all freaking out right now, but
I'm only freaking out because of Lita's broken character
I'm
model.
even stung with some sort of
What's
poison
broken
demon
about it? I
juice,
wasn't
but I'm
paying
sure
attention.
You see that black line that's stretching across Lars's face?
So before this infection wears off, I say we use it to our advantage.
You sure?
Let us not fear this.
Yeah, that's
blessing
from
the
Lita's line art.
He's right. Everyone get ready for battle. The enemy is upon
It's
the
like a
field.
little black dot kill laser.
I was
Yeah.
afraid this would happen.
Unfortunately,
I've always kinda
that is
wanted
a result of my graphic
fact, when I
settings.
was a
That's
kid,
not
I used to dream
that's not
about it
something
all
that's
the time.
supposed to be happening.
I hope my
But
parents were
yeah,
wrong
both
about this.
certain characters' line art and Lion White's luscious locks are not
everybody,
being represented
look over here a
appropriately.
I'm gonna do a trick.
Luscious locks. Now we have proceeded to the land of
Hell
Danzig.
yeah! This is awesome. Hey Lars, I can see your house.
Mama
From this new
demon!
vantage point, I can totally see what the problem is. Bunch of gross fan leeches are eating our fans.
We already knew that.
Mother!
Silence, Groundwalker.
Tell your children not to fly my
Drive
way.
off those leeches.
Tell your children not to raise my axe
should we
or to
attack
fly up above. Mother!
Now, unfortunately, this is one of the
fuck are we
issues
doing?
with my poorly mapped
Get
controls.
yourselves there.
Attempting to actually maneuver Eddie while he's under demon flight and use the command beacon is a fucking hassle and a half, and it'll bite me in the ass for the rest of the game.
Oh dear. Because I was gonna say, like, we spent a lot of time doing nothing for a second. It's a contradiction in terms, and you have to excuse me. Stage defenses, yes, a very important leaf in every roadie's scrapbook.
How to defend your state? How to defend your stage against ravenous fanboys?
Chapter 1. Have one guy left, center, and right to break up the mosh pit. Remove any injured persons from dumbasses who leap off of each other's shoulders. And also be sure to have your flashlights ready so you can spot the people smoking illicit substances while in the crowd.
Come on, press the right buttons, Mr. Pasquerdet.
Oh boy. Okay, so now on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is God yes and 1 is help me, where do you place this sequence?
This sequence in general is fine. This sequence honestly is effectively a tutorial for the rest of the RTS mechanics that we'll be using throughout the rest of the game. However, my control setup is the big issue. My control setup doesn't actually have the buttons for the command beacon mapped appropriately. So, God.
Kind of sounds like a 3.
Lay wait.
It's closer to a 4, to be perfectly honest. At least it was playing through this. If anything ever hit 2 or less, I just straight up wouldn't have finished the run. But now that Lion White is here, we actually have to fight off both his forces and the leeches before we can actually start building our own merch booths.
Man, suddenly there was just a chorus of pain in my ears. That is pretty brutal.
I'm sorry, dude.
Then when I meant their pain, their chorus of their pain, but there was a lot of voices at the same time for a second.
Kill them all.
Now, you don't need to actually capture all the different fan geysers that are here, but you should attempt to, because, you know, more resources.
Right, enough with the mortar cannon already.
As a side note on this particular run-through history, Kill 'Em All was the name of Metallica's 1983 debut album.
Just one more punch.
Alright. Bruiser's down, mortar cannon is disabled. Woot!
Shoot him! Just shoot him!
Hey, that was mine.
Defend the merch
Alright,
booth.
come on. Finish slaying the tower so we can fan tribute them.
Destroy this infernal monstrosity. My silly squealing friends.
For the record, having Eternal Fire on our axe is actually interesting, because I don't think the burning actually affects enemy hero units, but it actually it makes dealing with the smaller units and vehicles specifically much faster.
This is not the greatest song in the world. This is just a tribute.
And I think tribute is actually here.
Oh yeah, fan
I
tribute.
know Master Exploder is.
Of course, Tenacious D drops some tracks. That's awesome. So if this is effectively if Guitar Hero decided to become a third-person RTS game.
Yes and no. The solos aren't actually all that significant of an addition to the game to the gameplay loop to really call this a rhythm game adjacent title.
Well, it is. It would if you played on medium. No.
Well, I'm playing on medium for this game. I mean, all right.
Storm the gates.
Some more headbangers and another Thunderhog.
Storm the gates. I need you guys.
Just because I didn't join your stupid army.
Hey, it's my army and it's not nearly as stupid as you are. So there.
All right, who's the Macho Man Randy Savage wannabe out there? I'm gonna smash your face.
Wow, looks like Lion White can actually be affected by burn. I'm not sure how much though.
So is that Lion White or is that his avatar?
That's Lion White.
Oh.
Almost, Miss Razor Girl. First, let's destroy this gate.
Not now, but later. In my chambers. Right now. I gotta melt more faces.
One section of gate destroyed.
Go, Pikmin, go.
We're going home, but this time we're
Two sections of gate destroyed.
I see some jobs.
Ah, I screwed up the solo.
I saw the pink hat get knocked off of his head. What beautiful white hair.
Yay! We have successfully broken through the gate.
Brutal victory. I'm kind of wondering why they have an umlaut U in brutal.
I should have known better.
Because
than
it's
to
the
hire
most
guards
metal
whose
U.
hands are bigger than their brains. You're all fired. Every fat, worthless one of you.
And you're dead. Oh, no, come back.
Stop, Edward. They are no longer working for Lion White. They are no longer our enemies. Our real enemy is through there. Let us move forward.
Good call, Lars.
Got the stage all packed up, boss.
We are saving our units.
Ah, see? I'm already cured. I told you it was nothing to worry about.
Yep. And not a single corresponding soundbite in my soundscape.
The Cleave of the Impaler.
The Impaler.
Yes.
Lars!
Ah,
That is why. Because
You
they shoot very,
almost got-
very large spears.
trebuchet.
Heavy crossbow.
No, that's a trebuchet. That is because
Stop
there's
right
no
there.
way you could guide the
If you can make
pathway.
it through the
The
cleave
only way
alive,
you could guide the
then you must
pathway of an
work for
object
General
that large is
Lion
with its own
Oh,
weight.
knock
You
it
don't
off,
need
Rita.
you don't need feather frills on the
work
back
with
as a
me.
crossbow would have.
Okay, so the AoE 2 term would actually be a
So
ballista
that's
then.
how you smuggled them out.
But how did they get through the cleave undetected?
All right. You got me. I'm not quite as clear on my
You guys
war
are really
nomenclature
great
as I
at
should
stuff.
be for this conversation.
Hang out in the shadows. You only wear black. And you're really hard to see from far away.
What? I don't.
These guys
My friends,
are going to carry our
are roadies.
amplifiers.
and they're here
Well,
just
yes,
in the nick of
actually.
time.
They're gonna get us through this canyon, but first they're gonna need some monster amps.
Good call, Mr.
We're
Cloud.
gonna need some dynamite.
Those
As
are
everybody
the
knows that
screaming.
sound is relative to a
I
source.
like how that sounds.
We need some massive
Okay, maybe
vibrations
it's
to bring the
screaming
walls
while
down
your
and
roadie
take
friends
down the
will
roof.
See if they can carry a little extra wattage.
All right. And in the next episode, we'll go meet with Ophelia at the Screaming Wall.
What the deuce? Yay.
Whoosh!
Hey, you
Be
deserve
safe,
some more
everybody.
weapons. What do you say?